In this video, I'm going to try to make an argument for why all the Marvel Netflix shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cloak and Dagger, The Runaways, and maybe even, dare I say it, The Inhumans, are canon to the MCU. Maybe not so much The Inhumans, they can write that out, but the rest, it's all canon. So for as long as the MCU has existed, and especially in the last 5 to 6 years where scoopers seem to be popping up by the day with inside sources that constantly get proven to be wrong, there's been discussions and they've posted multiple things every single month about how there's a reboot or a recasting of a famous Marvel character from the Marvel Netflix pantheon of characters. Let's put it that way. Daredevil is going to be recast. They're recasting Wilson Fisk. The Punisher is being recast. Iron Fist is being recast. Luke Cage is being recast. Jessica Jones is going to get recast. Who's going to get recast? Anybody we can pick for today's piece of news. And then ultimately, we saw that Marvel Studios and Disney are just going to bring the entire catalog over to Disney Plus, and you'll be able to watch it. Now, of course, this brings up the whole canon argument, and people are like, well, is it canon? Is it not? I'm going to say that they are, and I'm going to explain why I believe that they are. And that's because the amount of effort and money you would have to spend to redo multiple or most of these characters, and the amount of time especially that you have to spend, is counterintuitive to the MCU. So let me explain. Marvel Studios' current output and production calls for about 3 films to be shooting in a year and about 3 to 4 TV series to be shooting in a year. Now, as the MCU has continued to grow, of course, with like Sony kind of joining the party, if you will, let's say 1 year they have 4 films. Okay, that's fine. The Sony multiverse thing with all the other films, we're not really going to count that because, again, Disney's not directly involved with everything there, and that's not part of their, core universe. But again, you can't count it. It doesn't matter. If you count it, then it goes more hand in hand with my argument here. So let's say we get to D23 this year, and Disney is making a bunch of announcements for future upcoming content. So suddenly they announce, hey guys, we are rebooting Iron Fist, we're rebooting Luke Cage, and we're going to do Heroes for Hire after that. Okay? We're also going to do a new take on Jessica Jones, and The Punisher is getting a straight-up reboot. Okay? Oh, and also we're going to do this thing that's on the side that's going to have Daredevil, and he's going to be fighting Kingpin, but it's also a kind of reboot that's not really connected to the shows that are on our service. Okay. So they just announced, effectively, 5 projects, 2 years worth of content, 2 years of production that effectively puts a dead stop on any other shows they want to do. Are you going to make a follow-up to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier after Captain America 4? Well, guess what? You can't, because you got to get the new Iron Fist out, and then you got to get the new Luke Cage out. What's the point? You're just going to waste more time doing these things with these characters that already have an established history and are on your service. What's the point of rebooting The Punisher when Daredevil introduces him and he has 2 full seasons? Again, what's the point of spending another $50 to $100 million on rebooting The Punisher for a season when you already have the series there, his origin, and the character and the actor exist and they're still around? Both of them. Again, do you guys see what I'm saying here? It's counterintuitive to the whole idea and the concept of the MCU to go 5 steps back and reboot and reintroduce every single character. Now, maybe some will be recast, but they're still going to play the same character they were before, because that history's there. And yeah, some of the shows and characters aren't the most well received, but it doesn't mean that you just abandon them and can't fix it. Same thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they're going to be canon, because you don't want to spend the next 8 years rebooting every single one, wasting time when you have a whole universe of other characters you have to introduce, new franchises. The X-Men have yet to be introduced. Are you going to delay more X-Men content when that's going to be an entire universe on itself that opens up so many potential franchises for the MCU just to introduce us or bring us Jessica Jones Season 2? No. I hope this kind of makes sense to you guys, right? I think it makes sense. If it doesn't, listen to what I just said again. Just go back to the beginning and listen to it again, and it might make sense to you.